Hello everybody, welcome back to another deep dive on Milwaukee. I've realized now that this information they do not want out. I have been trying to film these videos time and time again, and something happens every single time, and I don't know what it is. I have a relatively new computer, and each time it's clear that they don't want this information out. I also realized that as I stumble deeper and deeper into the relatively small city of Milwaukee, that there are buildings and buildings and buildings and buildings, a lot of which are torn down, but a lot of which are still standing. And Milwaukee is this hidden gem. Everyone focuses on, Chicago and the great expositions and Quebec and these different major cities, which is great, but Milwaukee is, I'm telling you, a huge gem here as far as exploring our, fake history. So let's just dive right in here. I'm going to try to show you as many buildings as I can today, because each time I find one, there's 10 more that crop out. So what we're looking at today is a panoramic view of Milwaukee. We've discussed probably my favorite building here, the Town Hall. Massive Tartarian building. We have Cathedral Square over here. We've discussed this little guy. We discussed the Lakefront Depot. We've discussed the Pabst Mansion. Not mansion. Building, which, why is there a Japanese flag on it? I don't understand that. We've discussed the Everett Street station over here. This building off in the corner, this little bitch, no idea what this is, but I intend to find out. This is the German Publishing Building, which we'll also discuss at some point. But today we're going to start with the Federalist Building, this puppy right here, which is beautiful. I also wanted to show, I have no idea what this building is. If anyone knows in the comments, it's not standing anymore. But, what's with the minarets? I don't know if this is a Tartarian city or what, but clearly something is not right here. So, once again, this is the Federal Building. Built in 7 years. It is, I guess, well known for its huge atrium, which I believe was once filled in with colored stained glass, but not so much anymore. It also has the building materials of pale gray Mount Waldo granite. Not sure what that is exactly, but it's interesting because a lot of the times these buildings are made in Cream City brick or this sort of red terracotta colored brick or stone. I don't even really know what this is, to be honest with you. And so it's interesting that this is sort of a grade building, but this is huge. It's still standing. It's beautiful. This is what? So this was 2 years after it was allegedly completed. You you have a mud flutter here. I mean, very obvious. Why build this huge construction on unleveled ground? That makes no sense to me. There's no reason of this type of construction to not level the entire area completely before starting to build. But no, they decided they're going to build, on an angle. The roads, granted, this looks like it's sort of a winter environment, but the roads are shit. It looks like they just dug this out, rediscovered it. The building is just beautiful. I'm so happy it's still standing. I realize this is probably not just a Milwaukee sort of statement, but there's a lot of these ocular sort of openings, both on the Town Hall building and a couple other buildings, and I love the style. I'm not sure why there's these sort of rounded arch entrances, but I love it nonetheless. This is the building. I've walked past here multiple times. On the left here, we have our lovely Japanese building over here. I mean, look at the architecture. It's very castle-like. We'll discuss most of these buildings in an upcoming video. Very techy. Again, we have trolleys that don't need trolley lines. These are not trolley lines. These are for electricity, I would assume. We're going to look at this guy in a second. This is the Milwaukee Club building. I think it's the men's club building. I don't think it's still standing today. I have to double check, but it's clearly, look at the weathering on this. And this is very early 20th century, this photo, and just weathered like no other. Clearly a mud flutter as well. But yeah, this federal building is just unreal. I think it's beautiful. It looks like something out of a fairy tale. I realize that there are a lot of German immigrants in Milwaukee, but come on, you guys. This building was apparently built at the same time that all these other buildings seem to be built. This one, and 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 this one. So I guess they had, no shorthand of materials, money, and manpower. I mean, this is like very intricate masonry work, and I don't understand how it blows my mind. Like, we already know the narrative's fake, but I just want to figure out the people that did build this. Like, this, look at this, you guys. Like, first of all, techie as hell, and this is even a modern photo, but clearly this was used for some other purpose. I bet that it has a bell in there at some point. This is the atrium. It's very, very famous atrium. What I would guess is that these little individual glass sections have all been replaced. These probably were all colored glass. When it was originally built, it'd be green and red and blue and yellow and just sort of all scattered with different colors for light therapies. That would be my guess. I think this is an incredible building. I love it. I can't give enough of it, and I still am so grateful that it's here. It's massive. Here's the Milwaukee Club that I had just mentioned. Another mud flutter. We have that ocular sort of opening. A lot of wrought iron that has been removed, but it's definitely there. Even like, look at this like relief in here. Like a beautiful building. Again, this sort of like red terracotta brick. It has chimneys, or what would look like something that were used as chimneys at one point. But who knows when this building was built? It's clearly of another time. We have the ugly, modernist, brutalist architecture behind it. We've come so far down, I don't even know what to say. And that's the thing, is that say we did build these. Say we did build these in the 19th century. Obviously we didn't, but say, let's just for the shits and giggles, we did build it. What happened? What happened to us? Like, we need to figure out how to conserve craftsmanship and different sort of technical skills so that we could continue to build like this. There's no way we could do this again. It would be A, way too expensive, and B, we don't have, you know how hard it is just to find a stonemason, a competent stonemason, to build just like a square? Like, I don't even know where they would begin on a lot of these projects. It's just unbelievable. I can't find, like, I believe it's still standing. Yeah, a gentleman's club for 134 years. Like, this is, I bet it's still there. I just like don't have in my memory this building like at all. And I'm just gonna pull this picture over here. Sorry about that. I don't know. What do you guys think? It just, again, a massive red brick building in the middle of downtown. It looks like a Vanderbilt mansion or something of the like. But it looks like Milwaukee. Oh, did they transform it? No, I should have done this history. I don't know if it's still there or not. I don't think it is. Like I said, I don't think I've seen this before in person, but I'll have to do some digging and come up with an update with you guys later. This is the Mackie building. Yes, this would be like right around the corner here of this building. Built in the relatively same time period. And just incredible. Just incredible. The grain exchange. Like, this is the Chamber of Commerce, quote unquote, building. I don't know what to say anymore, you guys. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Oh, gosh. I don't know what to say anymore. Look at the intricacy of this building. I mean, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Every nook and cranny of this building is just covered in beautiful relief and sculpture. It looks like there was a giant statue standing here at some point, but that's not there anymore. People are like, oh, it says 1879. That must have been where it's built. I mean, it looks like they just removed two animals and then put that there. You can add to these buildings, but I don't think they actually built them. Like, even this looks like some sort of like sound geocentric type of I don't know. Beautiful building though, and still standing from what I understand. I love how they like give you these maps as if you don't know where the fuck this is. So this is the engraving before 1881. It looks like, again, a massive mud flutter. Here's that statue I was talking about. At first I was like, oh, this architecture reminds me of something from Belgium or, yeah, like even like Luxembourg. But then I was realizing this kind of reminds me of like Australian or New Zealand architecture of the same kind, where they have like white, blue, white, blue, white, blue. Um, that sort of striping pattern. That's what it gives me a hint of. But yeah, super techy. We have all of the wrought iron. Clearly, this has been used for some other purpose. I'm always curious about the clocks. Like, when did they put the clocks in here? Because I believe the clocks are not from the quote unquote Tartarian civilization or whatever civilization actually built this. So I want to know what they put in here. I have a feeling that they might have put like either some piece of metal or a crystal of some sort. I know that sounds crazy, but if these are massive free energy harnessing buildings, I would not be surprised. Like I said, it's still standing today. Just a glorious structure. I mean, unparalleled. I don't know. Again, this is Milwaukee. This is Milwaukee, you guys. Like, what? Like, you have like horse and buggy, these dirt roads, everything looks kind of like shit. But then you have structures like this. Like, look at how techy this is. Like, like the other photos don't show. Again, the technasmia components of it all. But look at this. Look at this. Clearly, clearly, this is a tech of some sort that we just don't know anymore. This is the inside of it. Okay. Look at this. This looks like a Phoenician bath. Like, this is Milwaukee, everyone. Milwaukee. I mean, every inch, every centimeter. This is like a Mad King Ludwig of Bavaria palace. Like, what? Again, this atrium, I guarantee you, this was colored glass, colored stained glass at some point. But there was no expense spared on their commerce building, for all the wheat that Wisconsin, I guess, produced, even though Wisconsin's more of a dairy state. But even then, like the people, I love the people of Milwaukee and Wisconsin, but we did not, we did not do this. Like, look at this. Look at this. Every single detail is just straight out of like a fairy tale. I don't know what's going on with my mouse here. Just a second. So yeah, we have a lot of tech here. Clearly something happened to this building where they removed a large parts of it. That's why I say like the clock part. Like, clearly there's a clock here, but I don't always know if, like, we see this and we think it's immediately a clock, but like, what if this is, I don't know. I don't know. I just know that a lot of these buildings all over the world now have clocks in them, and I don't think the clocks operated in the same way if they were indeed clocks at some point. Maybe they were like stopwatches or something, like this is harnessing all this energy, like a gauge, sort of like an air pressure. Like, what are those things called? An air condenser or whatever, where it fills up with so much pressure and then it shuts off. Like, that's what I kind of feel like these clock things were used for. They were like, okay, we'll fill it up, and then it hits a certain point and then it's done, But again, super techy. I can't believe, again, that this is A, still standing, and B, that we've been lied to on such a massive level, you guys. Like, this is not, like, it's funny, but at the same time, it's, like, so not funny. Again, there's, like, some modern renovations in some of the apartments, which just look like shit. But the original sort of grandness of the architecture is unparalleled. Unparalleled. And again, this is what it looks like. The top looks like now. They removed a lot of the tech. I don't believe they talk about why they did, but this is a good up-close look at the top here. Yeah, a lot of the tech has been removed. I don't even know how they remove stuff like that. Like, if you look in here, it has like a mixed design, grand sandstone and limestone. It's Minnesota granite is the first story, and above that it's different. So I don't know how they got granite all the way from Minnesota at that time, but okay. He talks about the frescoes and all of that, but it shows nothing about the tech. Like, if this is okay, this says it's engraving from before 1881, and looks like they removed huge portions of the tech, if that is allegedly an engraving from 1881. But then we look at pictures like this, and it's like, I wonder if this will load for us. And it's like, well, when was this photo taken? You know, like clearly, we'll look at this one too and see if there's a date on any of them. The Mackie building and the Mitchie building. I don't know what the Mitchie building is. It must be right next to it. But it doesn't show date, unknown date. See, here we go. Here we go. There, yeah, unknown date. They can't ever place it. Here, this photo, date unknown. Wow, unbelievable. So yeah, these whenever you see the pictures with the tech on it, it seems like they just, their mind goes fuzzy and they don't know, who built it. It says the Mackie building and the Mitchell building. I believe this is. Let's go back to our photo over here. This would put us over here. So there's the federal building. Okay, here we go. The Mackie and the Mitchell building. Yeah, these guys are still standing. This is the Mitchell building. We have a flag here. So this photo, does it say? I believe there's a date somewhere on here. But yeah, let's go back over. Here we have a flag and then something else. So this has been, again, why is there a fucking Japanese flag there? I don't know. But these two buildings are right next to each other, and their tech has been removed at that point because clearly these are not flag poles. Oh, you guys, we've been lied to so much. Here's that same engraving picture from quote-unquote before 1881. I don't hink ho. This isn't even the same top. Like, look at this. See how rounded? They literally... Okay, so did they chop it off here? Like, I don't understand. Like, they completely changed the top of that, which in the... If we go back to our picture over here, they discussed in our Cathedral Square deep dive that they removed the top of this because they said it looked too much like the Civil War era. Again, I don't know what that means because they were living in the Civil War era. But why then remove the tech on every single one of these buildings just to make just because the top of the building, the very top, looks too Civil War-y? It's very suspect. Something very fishy is going on. This looks like a picture. I don't think it has the date. Let's see if it shows up. A view from the dome of the Mitchell building. So again, there's the Mitchell and the Mackie building, and it looks like the balloon of the tech is still there. They've removed this, of course. Look at all of this. So freaking techy. I love it. Look at the buildings around it. Like, look at this thing. Like, can we, like, zoom in on the picture? Date of the photograph, 1885. Well, that can't be because remember that engraving picture. They say this is before 1881. Yet in 1885, we have that. See what I mean? And it's like, I don't know if it's just like shitty historianship or what, but I want to figure out what that building is. Yeah, it's the same thing. Like, how can I zoom in at all? Sorry guys, my computer doesn't have the fastest loading speed, but this is what I want to zoom in on. Yeah, it's all. I mean, look at this though. Even these buildings, you can kind of tell. See all of the wrought iron up and down. Look at this building. Look at this. Look at this. This is Milwaukee. Look at the roads. Okay, so you have buildings and structures like this, but roads like this. This is what I say. We have been rediscovered. I don't know. What do you guys think? Again, I love the architecture of Milwaukee, but this is very suspect. So we'll just in conclusion. Again, we've talked about the Lakefront Depot. Now we've talked about the federal building here. We have a lot of other buildings to talk about, but looks like, okay, from that picture, this would be about a block away, and then this building. So if we go back to here, this would be like a block of this building right here. This is the guy. Notice how all the tech is removed from there. Granted, it's just like a photograph, but even this, like, this is not, like, look at how beautiful and intricate all of this masonry work is. All of the stone relief and the sort of technasmia ports, I believe that's what Martin Lee calls them. All of that has been totally removed by the time this panoramic picture was taken. Not even a picture. I don't even know what this is. Like a painting? A drawing? It's not an engraving. It's just very strange. And then it's this building here. But then you look at this building, and that's what I say. Every time I find one building, I find like 10 others. And it's hard to tell in this type of photo, but like this is clearly another beautiful building. So I'm going to leave it there for today in the hopes of getting this out uncorrupted. And I'll be back very soon with another deep dive into our lovely Milwaukee. Bye.
It's a Mr. Theron production.